In this video, we're going to talk about a very important topic for all early stage startups. How are you going to raise your initial money? So this is the money you really need to start your business. For sure, one way could be that you already have a good financial backlog and you can fund everything from yourself or from your founders. But in most of the cases, that's not possible. So what could a company do?
Yeah, first of all, I think the easiest way is bootstrapping. That means that the money you earn simply stays in your company. This is, I think, pretty simple and logic part, but a mistake many, especially young entrepreneurs do, is when they earn their first money, they think, yeah, wow, I've made it, and take the money out of the company and buy stuff they don't need. So the most important thing is that, that you treat your company well, for that it's important that the money stays in the company and that you let it grow.
Okay, so that's a very basic approach to simply let the money you earn in your business. So for example, let's say you're buying a product for $10 and you make 20 from it and you only have $1,000, you start with the $1,000, you buy products for it, then you sell, then you end up after taxes with, let's say, 1,500, then you're going to buy products from this, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So, but this way it really takes long for you to grow. And this is also only possible if you already have the initial money. Another thing you can do when you want to start a business and you don't have the financial money for it, you simply get a partner on board. So you find a second person, you're doing it together, so you have two people bringing in the money. You can also get 3, 4, 5 and so on. But always keep in mind, the more people you get, the more people should also work in the company, the more profits you need to generate, the less equity each of you owns. So therefore, really think about what you could do.
Yeah, and it's also important to know that the more people in the company, the more deciders or people own parts of the company, the harder it is to make decisions. Because if you want to make a decision and the company is your own, then you can make a decision by yourself. But if there are 6 different people, it can happen that you have to ask every one of them, and it can get pretty difficult.
Yeah. So you see, you're very limited in creating initial money from yourself or your partners. So therefore you can get some share capital or external capital. For example, the easiest way to do this are the 3 Fs: family, friends and fools. So this means you're literally going to ask anyone who's related to you, everyone you know, everyone who trusts you, to borrow you the money. This is very important for later stage investors to see that some friends, family and fool money is in the business, so they really see, okay, this is something where they really believe in. Because I think it's kind of an awkward situation for you to borrow money from your friends and then not being able to pay it back. So therefore you really need to make sure that to convince them that they believe in you, you really need to be on a good track to raise this money.
Yeah, and a big advantage of this method is also that when you ask your friends and family, it's easier to get money from them than when you go to the bank, because the bank, of course, wants to know your payment situation, if you're able to pay back. Of course, your friends also want that, but it's easier for them because they trust you, they know you, your family especially. So it's a much easier way to get money this way than when you go to the bank.
Yeah, exactly. Also, working with banks, you normally need to have any security. So for example, you need to have a flat that the bank can say, okay, if you can't pay, I take the flat, or I take the house, I take your car or whatever. So what's also in a bank's case, normally you pay a bank a higher interest rate than you would probably pay a friend of yours. So also with friends, if you're not going to pay them 1 month, but you're saying, okay, can I please pay you 1 month later? This shouldn't be a problem normally the first time. The second time, I'm sure it will be a problem, but with banks, it will be initial problem. Also, with friends, you are more flexible, so you can say, if it really runs good, to pay them back earlier. With banks, this is also sometimes a problem. Also with banks, you need to enter huge contracts, you need to get your financial states checked, and so therefore this could be really a lot of work, and it will also take a lot of time until you really can get the money and you can access it.
Yeah. Another possibility are angel investors, that are simply people who invest in your startup company, whatever. and usually they get a percentage of your company, they own it. And the big advantage of this method is that they bring in the experience. Of course, they have a lot of capital, and they bring in the capital, but also the experience. And it's important to think about smart money. So don't take the first or the biggest amount of capital you can get, but also think about, does the investor have experience in doing this? Or did he do this before? Is he good at what he's doing? And did he work with other companies which are related to your business maybe? So think about that they can get you a lot of experience also in the company, because sometimes that's even more worth than the money itself.
Yeah, also with regarding to investors, it's not only the experience, it's also the network. So a successful angel investor can open you many doors. So for example, if you create a small product and you want to be listed in Whole Foods and every huge distribution channel, you're not really have good chances in getting in there. But for example, if you have Mark Cuban as your investor, he simply picks up the phone, makes 3 calls, and you're in. So therefore, he can really help you a lot with this. Also with angel investors, you really need to think in the long run, because an angel investor normally wants to get a 10x, 20x return on his money once the company is big. So angel investors really only fit for you if you're really a startup, if you can create this hockey stick growth. If you're a normal business, you won't get an angel investor. But what you can get is a normal investor. An investor works similar to a bank. He owns you the money, he gives you a loan, and then from there you pay him back with interests. An angel investor normally wants a direct stock in your business. Therefore, always think, don't give him too much equity. Once the angel investors have a lot of equity, or you got less equity, you can't make decisions anymore alone. So therefore, you really need to watch out.
Yeah, for sure you give the angel investors a little bit of your company, also some power to make some decisions. But as Philip said, try to be the one who has more parts of the company than the angel investor, because if it's the other way around, it's simply hard for you to decide later.
Another thing how you can raise money is from the crowd via crowdfunding. There are certain kinds of crowdfunding. There's equity-based crowdfunding, lending-based crowdfunding, reward-based crowdfunding, and so on. But they all work in a similar way. So you start your campaign, for example, if it's reward-based crowdfunding on Kickstarter, and you say, I have this product and I want to raise $10,000. Once I raise this $10,000, I get the money. So it's kind of this all or nothing approach, meaning if you find enough people to invest 10,000 euros or dollars together, then you get the money, and then you can create your product and you're going to sell it to them.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to ask you, because you have some experience with crowdfunding, which kind of crowdfunding fits the best for your business? Because of course there's equity-based crowdfunding, and because I think most of the people out there think that crowdfunding, the crowdfunding they think about is most of the time simply getting money and paying it back some in maybe 5 years or this time. But there are many different ways of it, and what can you think of, or which examples can you give for businesses using this methods?
My personal experience is, if the startup is really early stage, which I think you are in if you're watching this course, so then you should go for either way donation-based crowdfunding. This means like people giving you the money for free to support your good cause, but this only works if you're an social impact startup, something like creating jobs for blind people and so on. And the other way would be the reward-based crowdfunding. This is kind of comparable to a pre-sale, meaning the people giving you the money in advance so that you can create the product and you can provide it to them. So I think this is the best way for a business to start, but this also doesn't work with all the businesses. Normally this works with cool gadgets. So therefore no one would crowdfund an app, but what people are willing to crowdfund, for example, are cool watches, cool smartphone cases, some books have been crowdfunded, even movies. So think of something tangible. I would say the perfect product, for example, would be if you're the first one to come up with this GorillaPod or tripod. I think this would be the perfect product for a crowdfunding, because you can use it, you can collect money, you can use the money to create the products, you already have sold it, and you can order more and you can grow your business from there.
Yeah, one thing to keep in mind also is that the crowdfunding platforms, of course, they get some money. Most of the time you have to pay something to be launched on their platform, and then they get some percentages for of the crowdfunding
Exactly.
money that is raised. I think we covered the most important parts.
Yeah, to sum up all of this, we talked about starting in the beginning, so it's always good to have some money already which you can use to start your business. So always have money to start your business and also have some money on the side. So once you hit a bad timing and you're not making money as fast as you think or as you expected from your business plan, so that you have some backup money you can really relay to, so that you don't have to starve and have nothing to eat. Another way to get money is the 3 F's, friends, family and fools. These are the people really close to you. You can also think of a bank loan if you have the right securities. You can get angel investors if you're a startup, and always think about crowdfunding, because if you have a good vision and you have a great thing you can show to the public, it's also possible to join something or to get some money from the public.
Yeah. So let's go to the project, I would say. What do you think, which kind of project would be the best for the people watching?
I think in this case it would be really cool for the people to come up with a plan of how you're going to raise money. So what's your idea? How will you make money? How will you raise it from? Will it be crowdfunding? Will it be a bank loan? Will it be friends, family and fools? Simply lay it out on a few sentences, and see you in the next class.
See you.